This is Business Live from BBC News with Victoria Fritz and Aaron Hesselhurst.
Yeah, executive pay, it's back in the spotlight once again as the UK's second biggest drug maker, that's AstraZeneca, holds its AGM. But look, in the past few weeks, we've seen executives at oil majors, media giants and mining firms. They've all had their pay deals rejected or questioned by shareholders.
Live from London, that is our top story on Friday, the 29th of April. Big bosses getting paid too much. Can the advertising boss Martin Sorrell justify his $100 million pay package? Judging from the mood as the AGM season gets underway, shareholders are biting back. Now, also in the programme, tens of thousands are flocking to Omaha in Nebraska this weekend. It's not for a festival or a concert, but the annual shareholder gig held by this man here, Warren Buffett, the legendary moneymaker. We're going to have a report on one of the world's savviest investors and one of the world's richest men. And of course, we've got all the latest from the financial markets for you. As you can see, Europe is already sinking a little bit further into the red. Hello and welcome to the programme. Today we're talking big bucks. Specifically, the controversial issue of executive pay. Are the top bosses worth the money that they earn? Now, it's a question many shareholders are now asking. Lots of them are the biggest companies, and they are holding their annual shareholder meetings at the moment. And more, the answer seems to be no. These guys are just not worth it. Now, earlier this month, BP shareholders revolted over a big pay rise for this chap here, Bob Dudley, awarding him $20 million despite record losses at the oil giant. Almost 60% of shareholders voted against it. Now, just a week later, we heard from Anglo American and their shareholders. They also revolted. The CEO was in line for a $5 million payout, despite Anglo being the worst performing stock on the FTSE 100 this year. 40% of investors voted against that. Today, the boss of the drug company AstraZeneca, Pascal Soriot, faces shareholders, and it's quite a showdown. They're expected to cry foul over his $12 million payout that he's expecting this year. Now, Mr. Soriot rejected a takeover bid, you might remember, from Pfizer just 2 years ago. All of these, of course, pale into significance when you look at what Britain's best paid boss, this chap here, is due to earn this year. He's Sir Martin Sorrell, of course, of the world's biggest advertising company, WPP, in line for a $100 million pay package, £70 million, most of it in performance-related share awards. He could face a rocky ride at the company's AGM in June. Now, let's have a quick look at some other news for you. And shares of the online retail giant Amazon have jumped in after-hours trading after it says Buffett holds his annual gig in Omaha, Nebraska tomorrow. Thanks, Bronwyn. Now, still to come, legendary moneymaker Warren Buffett holds his annual gig in Omaha, Nebraska tomorrow. Tens of thousands are flocking to the annual shareholder meeting at Berkshire Hathaway. We'll be finding out a little bit more about the future for Mr. Buffett.
Billions worth. Why?
It's gone up 50%.
He only had it for 3 years.
Yeah, he had it for 3 years.
And, of course, he did get some things changed. He got them to do dividends and do him selling iTunes movies and iBooks in China. And I think he's worried that a lot more...
Oh, OK, so it's just because, I mean, we've only got about 15 seconds left, unfortunately, so I don't think we're going to get to the other paper. But they're worried about that China is Apple's future growth market, but China is a bit of a...
From Business Live today, plenty more business news throughout the day on the live page and also on World Business Report as well. Have a lovely weekend.